Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and I absolutely agree with B on this one because, well, he tried to warn you. Hill versus Babyface was right about this dogshit game. Um, it's been a history. Well, I need to. There are two histories here, or shall I say stories, and these stories go in two ways. Let's start with the first one. PC gamers tends to mod the games that they enjoy to make them better, but there is a catch. When you are buying from a company that is not polishing their games more enough that they could do, only because they have to polish, say, yeah, we don't mind mods. Well, you think they are going to stop giving you inferior products? Just for example, if we are going back to the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, how ugly the NPCs were, how ugly the animations were. The story, well, the, it told a good story. Then Skyrim came in, and it's the same. They made some changes, but well, the main core that actually makes me feel disgusted. And I know these PC players are like this. That's why they say, "Well, I'm still going to mod it." Well, good for you. But I have a problem when you are buying from them at launch because if you pay them on launch and saying, I'm just going to mod it at launch, well, you're not giving them any incentives to perform themselves and do better when it comes to game mechanics and designs. Then you end up with Fallout 76, and at the end, you end up with Starfail. Starfail is a bland, boring crap. I saw that in gameplay. I didn't even need to fucking play that shit just to know. Because compared to Fallout New Vegas, nothing. I saw nothing that could actually be appealing to play it. No. On top of that, it's an optimized piece of crap with a lot of demanding hardware. And of course, you need an SSD because it's so fucking powerful. Motherfucker, that shit is creation engine. It's been outdated for 2 fucking decades already. Now we go to the other side with Game Pass. Game Pass is a good service, but when it comes to titles from Microsoft, for example, Forza Horizon 5, they like to claim a lot that it's a good game. It's not. It's mediocre. Because if you go back and find your way to play Forza Horizon 1 and 2, it's a very downgraded version. Seriously. That franchise went downhill because they took down key features. They took down game design, appealing stuff around the open world of that racing video game. Because if you go back and look at the first one, it's more appealing with the music too. Because the main purpose of that game was to make you feel like you were in a festival. And then you have now that, yeah, you can start with almost everything, and then we are give you a fucking boring design like that. You go racing and then grind over grind like a fucking gacha game. Well, it's not a gacha game for Horizon 5, but well, it's just fucking boring. Then that game was broken on launch. It crashed many times. The online service, like the multiplayer, none of that shit was actually working. On top of that, they cut content from previous installments where, for example, when you go back to Forza Horizon 4, they had cars at launch that they could easily port it to 5 and then give you updates with new cars that were not even there in the first place. They didn't do that. They cut half the roster of Forza Horizon 4 cars, and they gave it to you as updates. But well, you have fucking Cox from Xbox claiming that it's a very successful game where it's not, because by 5 months later, the game was already dead. Where the online was already dead. When you go to the open races, there was just nothing at all. Or at least 2 or 3 players at at the max amount of luck to find someone to play, because everyone had that shit, had enough. But well, how they claim that that game is a very big success, because number one, Game Pass, the people actually managed to play the base game. Number two, that game, to make it more sneaky or sketchy, to tell you to lie that it is a successful game, they registered the count of all registered players that at least were played once. That count as a player, and that number stays like that. It doesn't tell you the current player base, but Steam tells you that. And we go back to what Baby Hill versus Babyface was right. This game is fucking hated to the gods in Steam, for because yeah, compare it to other storefronts. In PC, Steam tells you, yeah, you could clearly see if it's some review bombing because something stupid, or the devs did something stupid, the game is not actually good. And well, the game is not actually good. It has a boring story, bland open world, uglier NPCs, and on top of that, woke NPCs with the pronoun bullshit, which is the main rant Hill versus Babyface did. At this point, what excuse do you have at this point? The it is not like a problem of money here when it comes to paying these developers to create something. It's because you have talent creativity going away, because well, you have a problem, ideological problem inside this company. This ideology tends to poison so much how you design stories, how you design characters. That's why everyone rant about the ESG, or at least the ones who know the fucking truth why this ideological problem is actually happening. What answer do you need? What else do you need to hear to actually understand that yeah, you have an ideological problem with fucking leftists, that they like to subvert you into homosexuality, feminism, ugly designs, just because they want to accept those designs, because well, they want to force you to accept them. And you know what? Fuck this shit. They're not getting my money. They can go fuck themselves. And I'm going to say this to PC players. If you want to mod a game, for fuck's sake, well, at least a fucking discount. Don't be a cunt. You are even just like you like to rant about console players that tends to create these fucking problems. Well, yeah, they are that part is true, but it's also true that yeah, you PC gamer playing these games at launch, paying for the now $70 just to get scam like this, you're getting what you asked for, and you can shit. You can even bring the talk about mods, because the modding scenes for Starfail, they wanted to create a multiplayer component. They fucking said, enough is enough, I'm done. This game is fucking boring. I don't want this at all. That's how it tells you Starfield is a very big fucking flop. That it highlights in the head of Todd fucking Howard that it's time to retire. And I think he's going to do it at this point. It's fucking Bethesda current year. Uh, that's it. The AAA industry is dying. They are so desperate, but well, The only thing they can do is going to a cliff where that only leads you to a bottomless pit. It's just done. The AAA industry is done. That and gacha video games, they are just taking the lead because they are giving you the characters, the stories that people actually want. The only problem right now there is the fucking fandoms and the wokies trying to invest and force their own ideology. Because I repeat myself, it's an ideological problem. You have a fucking ideology that is fucking destructive, ugly and nastier that you could ever seen. So that's pretty much everything I'm going to say here. I hope you have a pretty good day.